This Read to Lead series. My name is Anil Kumar. Today we are looking into From Effectiveness to Greatness, the 8th Habit by Steven Covey. Effectiveness to Greatness, 8th Habit by Steven Covey. Basically every individual who is having a working life experiences a considerable amount of emotional pain while working in an organization, working for an institution. Because there are multiple bosses. One is your physical boss, one is your personal goals, one is your organizational objectives, one is the team with whom you work. This is because you are treated as objects and not as human beings. The moment you as an employee is treated as an individual, respected as a human being, you will not find any hurdle in you giving your 101% for the organizational objective. This is a basic learning from this book. Knowledge worker is the new model. Is the present day's worker, not an industrial age laborer. So the unspoken, unwritten contract is that respect is the minimum requirement of an individual to give to the institution his best. You have to respect the complete person, the body and mind, the heart and soul, the brain, everything. Not just part that works from 9 to 5. We have to look at him in a holistic way. Only then an employee will be able to give his best so that the organization can reach great heights. This 8th habit stems from the first 7 habits that we have already seen, the Steven Covey's magnum opus. The two aspects of the 8th habit is finding your own unique voice, finding a value, finding a purpose, and then helping others find their purpose. Everyone has a choice, either to pursue greatness or to pursue mediocrity. You have the power, you have to choose, and this choice rests on your mind, your body, your heart and soul. Extraordinarily accomplished people have the traits of having a good vision, the right discipline, the great passion, and a large amount of moral conscience. So the choice of choosing excellence is yours. This will happen if you find your own voice and if you help others find their voice. This is possible if you have the body, mind, heart and soul properly pointing towards your vision, the discipline, the passion and the moral conscience. You have to find your voice and you have to help someone else find theirs. It is not enough to have just lofty ideals, you have to work on it. The good news is that you can always change, either take a left turn, a right turn or a U-turn, not necessary to go straight if you are on the wrong route. You can leave mediocrity, you can pursue excellence. The organization will fail if it doesn't have the ability to execute. Inability to execute is the biggest cause for failure. So you need to execute plans to change course to the right direction. The ultimate purpose is to serve others, be it an individual, be it an institution, be it family, be it the firm. What are the 7 habits that gives rise to the 8th habit of finding your purpose and serving others? It is to be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first, think win-win, seek first to understand, synergize and sharpen the saw. You are free because you determine how to respond. You have to write your personal vision statement as an individual, as an institution, and then you have to clarify principles, set proper goals, realistic, achievable, and then go for it. You have to balance the attention you give to each of your roles and responsibilities as a spouse, as an individual, as a worker, as a community, as a social being. You need to balance your roles. You have to multiply your allies, make friends, not enemies. You have to communicate so that trust is built and developed. You have to be cooperative and you have to be coordinating because the sum of the individual parts is greater than the what you can think of. 1 plus 1 is more than 2, that is synergy. And then you have to take time to sharpen your tools, the body, mind and soul, so that you have your production capacity running. That is your traits of vision, discipline, passion, moral conscience, your elements of mind, body and soul will go towards finding your voice and helping others to find, that is to chase excellence. We all still work under the flawed paradigm. What is the flawed paradigm? Looking at worker as something, an object to be controlled. We are buying his time and we look only at his labor. The time is gone. Now we have to look at the knowledge worker and we will get his mind and intellect into our activity only if we treat the individual respectfully. Today the worker does not just offer physical time or physical effort, but he is offering his mind. It's a knowledge worker. The 8th habit is about seeing and harnessing the power of the 3rd dimension. looking at the third alternative. What is the third alternative? Things are not just black and white, but there is a whole lot of hues of grays and all of the colors in between. It is not a yin and yang, it is not a 0 and 1, but there is a different alternative which is mutually beneficial. That's the third alternative. We need trust. We don't need control in today's world. We need to help people find their voice and express their capabilities, and to help others help others. That is what our job is. People who work for you are not inputs. They are individuals. That is what every leader should remember. We have to respect as a leader the team. We have to give value to the team. And we have to give value to the body, mind and spirit of every individual working in the team. What is required is to be effective, not just efficient. The human spirit is full of hope, full of intelligence, full of resilience, and it has boundless potential. Humans have boundless potential, and if we have to harness, we need to learn how. By respecting. Organizations that survive and thrive have profound impact on the future of the world. But how will an organization thrive? How will an organization survive, for that matter? That is by respecting the people, the team that makes the organization. The individuals should be allowed to thrive. Individuals should be allowed to have satisfactory lives. Only then they will contribute to make the institution survive and thrive. Everyone has a choice. You can live in mediocrity or strive for greatness. It is never too late to turn back, and you can always fulfill your innate potential, and you should aim for. So how do we do this? You have to bring out the unique personal significance of each human individual. We have to ensure the employees don't experience pain and frustration. We have to stop believing that leadership is control. Leaders have to believe leadership is a choice. The people who are led should believe the leadership wants respect two-way, trust two-way, and then the people should be happy working for the organization. Human beings are not things that need to be motivated and controlled, but they are four-dimensional beings, the body, mind, heart and spirit, and for that, respect and recognition is more important than the reward, than the salary that we give. How do we discover the voice? What is that you should do to discover your voice, your calling? First is the mind. IQ is mental intelligence. Many people stop here when evaluating intelligence, but it is too restricted. Next is the body, the physical quotients, the physical intelligence. This is discounted because it takes place without your conscious awareness, whether you are able to lift something or not, whether you are able to go without food for a long time or not. But then, you do not have to think to breathe. You do not have to think to make a heartbeat. It happens. This intelligent response as per the biological clock inside. And it also helps to ward off infections and make you not sick. It also helps you to recover if you fall sick. So all this is your PQ, physical intelligence. Then comes the heart, the emotional intelligence. You must be aware, sensitive and empathetic to the person's feelings. To understand what the other person is saying, you need to be able to understand your own emotions and feelings. And your communication should be on a genuine level. A person with EQ, a strong EQ, knows what to say and when to say it and how to say it. What to say, when to say and how to say. The person with good EQ knows what the other person is trying to say irrespective of the words he uses, because you are able to feel his emotions. The evidence is that on the long run, EQ is far better than PQ or IQ. Then comes the spirit or the soul. The spiritual intelligence says the most central intelligence is spiritual intelligence. That is because the spiritual intelligence is the one that activates or directs the other three intelligences. So what do we have? How do we use this intelligence? What is it of help to an individual? This is helping you to express yourself. How? For the mind, it is a vision. When a mind is fully developed, you gain the vision. The ability to discern the highest potential in individual or an institution, the firm or a family. What is the cause that you exist for? What is your purpose that your enterprise is running for? So to get that vision, you need to use your highest potential of your mind. For that, you have to find your voice. You must touch with the four elements of the whole person. Only then you will be able to understand that person. You have to elevate. And this will happen through continuous struggle. Regular progress will happen if you dedicatedly, devotedly go after it. Then comes the body. It is discipline. You need discipline to transform vision into reality. Discipline in everything that you do. Be it waking up, be it coming on time, be it exercising, be it having good food, be it encouraging good thoughts. Discipline is a child born from the marriage of vision and commitment. If you have a good vision where you want to go, and if you have a commitment that you have to go there, then you will have discipline that will take you there. Next is the heart or the passion. So when you give good exercise to your body for the physical and to your mind for having right thought, then the ability is there to create in others good discipline for the vision, good discipline towards keeping a healthy body, irrespective of the circumstances, irrespective of the need, because without vision one will fall into victimization. For the heart, it is the passion. Those who develop a wise heart will feel the passionate fire of conviction, passion for that goal, the flame that sustains the discipline needed to achieve the vision. Because the body, you say together you are a family, the body and mind together is a family, but then for the passion, you need to find the flame that flows through your unique voice to accomplish the great thing. You have to keep that flame alive. Then comes the spirit or conscience. Here, it is a developing your identity that will lead you towards the right fork in the road. Whether to take a right or whether to take a left. That decision will come from your conscience, the spirit. It is a moral compass that guides you. You can work without a compass, but having one will take you easily to the right place. Otherwise, you have to do a trial and error. And sometimes some errors are too big that you cannot correct it. Okay, having seen the MQ, IQ, PQ and all, and having seen the various types of intelligence, and having seen that we have to take a person in full, mind, body, heart and spirit together, and that it is the vision, the discipline and the passion and the conscience. The vision, the discipline, the passion and conscience that defines how effective you are going to be. Let us look what is leadership. Leadership is the ability to help people understand their own true worth, their potential, and to make them see it in themselves and to help them live accordingly. Leadership is the ability to tell people that they are capable, to remind people that they have a lot of potential, to ensure that the people use their true potential to the betterment of the society as a whole. That is leadership. So we begin with intelligence, the physical body quotient, the emotional quotient and the spiritual quotient. We have to get our vision, discipline, passion and conscience right. That is, we need to have a focus. And then we need to influence it by setting good examples. The leaders have to stick to true principles. Leaders have to prove the self-worth. Leaders have to be reliable, trustworthy. And in the process, leaders have to bring out the best not only in them but for the overall team. To place trust over control, leaders have to make conscious effort. Leaders have to align the interest of the individual and that of the institution. A trim tab on a boat or a plane is a small rudder that ultimately turns the whole machine. Like that, leaders have to be a compass that turns the activities of the team in the right direction. Leaders need to have core values in them that will turn them like a trim tab in the right direction, to have the right focus, to keep the promise, to demonstrate honesty, loyalty, integrity, etc. What is empowerment? Empowerment is most necessary thing that a company can do to an individual so that the corporate can reap the best benefits of the individual's capabilities. Empowering leaders to empower others to find their voice. This is necessary because as a corporate, as an institution, we have to imbibe the shared commitment towards the organization's highest priorities. Imbibe a shared commitment of the team in their activities to funnel their energies towards organization's highest priorities. You could try to lead them by controlling, but it is not sustainable. It is not right. We cannot abdicate responsibility saying let them do what they have to, let them go on their way. No. If you are not near the goal, it is a leader's responsibility to make course corrections. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a choice. Leadership is you willingly volunteer yourself to empower others to help them reach the goals and in the same time reach the goals of the organization. Leaders have to give autonomy, but leaders also have to give direction. That is, you have to set the objective and then give them freedom to achieve that objective. It has to be a win-win agreement. It is not that company gets a lot of profit but the employee does get no bonus. It's not like that. It's a psychological and social contract between the leader and the team that they will put their heart and mind to ensure the objectives are met. In a high trust culture, people will appraise themselves effectively, and in case of a 360-degree feedback, only trust and empowerment survives. What are the sweet spots? The easy thing is modeling. Prove yourself trustworthy in your actions. Be a role model. Next is pathfinding. Create a sense of direction for the you and others to go. Lead by being in the front. Aligning. Help your organization be congruent with the spirit and trust and empowerment. The organization should be having a trust and willing to empower the people. The team should have trust in each other. The team leader should empower the team members so that they can achieve their objectives, at the same time achieve the objectives of the organization with more efficient and effective way. The team needs to be empowered. The leaders need to be empowered. Accept the 4 elements: the body, mind, heart and spirit. Embrace them. No matter what, we can find our voice and we can help others find their voice. Help others choose the greatness. This is the sweet spot. Rather than imposing expectations on others, listen to them and practice behaviors that will give you the moral authority so that they will listen. Proper alignment is the most important thing, or else there will be no moral authority to ask the employee to work towards the betterment of the organization. Have faith in the people's ability to contribute. Empower them so that they will be having authority over their actions to produce results. They will feel accountable if they are empowered. They will be responsible for their actions. We can choose to switch the path. It is never too late whether to choose greatness or mediocrity. Alignment and empowerment are the 2 important aspects of execution. They are the key: alignment and empowerment. There is a gap in clarity, and that is one reason why it becomes difficult to reach greatness or to attain effectiveness. The greatness and effectiveness are elusive because of the clarity gap. The old industrial adage we know is to control. It is you will announce the program and expect the workforce to understand it and do it. That is not the way. Now then people started having mission statements so that people will know what is the mission of the organization. But in today's age, new initiatives are needed. You need to have an identity for the organization, identity for the team, and identity for the individual, and the institution to respect the identity of the individual. Only then you will get the involvement and buy-in, and only then the team will be willing to contribute towards the larger goals of the organization. So this is a clarity gap. Don't look for control or mission statement. Get the buy-in from the team by respecting their individualities, respecting their ideas, and asking them to contribute. Next is the commitment gap. Rather than selling new ideas to the workforce, the 8th habit respects the whole person. Respect the person. Don't sell, don't control, don't tell them. Ask them what is better, how to do it. The thing is to bring out the best in them so that the organization is benefited. Organization is based on the knowledge of the knowledge workers. It takes into account the welfare of each person's body and mind, heart and soul, the spirit. So ask them what is good for them. Ask them what is good for the organization. Ask them how they can help. And instead of selling ideas, get their commitment. Next is the translation gap. Translation is how we convert one from the another. Lofty goals must be translated into real world activities. You may have a goal that you have to go to Mars. But it is okay, fine, that's a goal. But then you have to slice it down, dice it down into activities, real world activities, which a person has to do at this given point in time, and who else will do what, and what comes first and what comes last. And then how all these things together will get orchestrated into the organizational goal of, say, going to Mars. For the knowledge worker, the translation gap needs to be handled by not just job description, but aligning the goals and incentives to get the desired results. You have to align the rewards, the recognition, so that you get the desired results. The lead factor, the lag factor, that is what you call. The lag factor is the result you get. That will come if the lead factor, the employee is happy. The employee will be happy if you ensure that there is trust, and the reward and recognition will be in line with the responsibilities given to them. If you give little reward and lot of responsibility, then it will not translate into happiness, which will not translate into effective results. Comes the enabling gap. What is enabling gap? Industrial age thought people were an expense and equipment was an investment. Today, the better idea is to establish a scoreboard that matches the desired results with the capabilities. Now, we know people are not expense, staff is not a cost, staff is an investment or a human capital we call. We know equipments are not an investment, but it has to be written down and then it will become obsolete, and they are the tools. Human beings can learn, relearn, unlearn and develop themselves to a new environment. Machines cannot. If you have a telex or a teleprinter or a fax, it cannot help you work in today's computer technology. But the old teleprinter operator or a fax machine operator will be able to learn how to operate a computer today and help you. So knowledge, the individual, his willingness to learn, his willingness to contribute, that is what matters. So the enabling gap is the one that says the worker has to see the firm's structure, they have to agree and accept that it is aligned, and then they should feel that they are enabled or empowered to accomplish these objectives. Only then the enabling gap will be covered. So the employees needs to be empowered and the essential tools need to be given so that they will meet the objective. For this, their goals has to be aligned with the organization goal. For this, the organization structure should be supportive enough. Then comes the synergy gap. Synergy gap is 1 plus 1 is more than 2. That is what synergy is. To have synergy, managers, leaders should understand the third alternative. They need the 8th habit. That is to help others, find the legacy, find your value. See that you are treated as an individual and respected so that you bring out your best human potential for the overall goodness or betterment of the whole team. When two ideas conflict, through empathetic listening and creative thinking, arrive at a third position that is agreeable to both parties. Don't sit between 0 and 1. Look at your creative thinking, critical thinking capabilities and find a mutually beneficial solution. The third alternative is the basis of the 8th habit, and it forms the basis of communication to harmonize the various interests of the various people. The industrial age process was simple, carrot and stick method. But now we need to build in accountability. To build accountability, you cannot just say you did not do, so you are fired. We have to empower him, we have to train him, we have to make him agree and understand that these are the things that he will do, this is how it will be measured, this is how it will be monitored, this is the result that is expected. The new way is mutual accountability. The goals are self-set. The objectives are self-written, and then it is agreed by the superiors to ensure it is in alignment with the corporate organizational or a corporate goal. So comparison of the progress made towards the achievement of the goal is a part of self-appraisal. The scoreboard should continuously show the score. Only then the knowledge worker will be able to help you achieve your organization, because you need to know how each one's contribution is contribute overall objective. That is the accountability gap. Serving others is the most important thing. That is the 8th habit. Serving others is the most important thing. That is the real reason organizations are established, to serve human needs. You are helping an employee reach his potential. By that, the employee is helping you to reach your objective. By that, you are helping the society by producing and supplying your goods and services. So serving others, serving the human need is a basic purpose of any organization, not just profit. The ultimate path to harness all the 8 habits is to serve others. Use all your 7 habits and go for the 8th habit. Look at the third alternative and look at the 8th habit. It's important to find your own voice, your own calling, your own purpose, and then your journey must end with helping others find others. If your journey ends without helping others find their calling, it's of no use. The dogmas of the past are not adequate for the present day situation. What is in it for me? Don't ask. What is in it me that I can give others? You ask. Don't ask what is in it for me. Ask what is in it that I can offer others. What is in it that I can offer others. Choose to be a leader. It's a choice. It's not a position. It's not a compulsion. Choose. Make a voluntary willingness. Choose. Enlighten yourself. Enlighten others. The notion of service about self is the one that will give you moral authority. The notion of service over self is what makes you a leader. You have to start with intelligence quotient, physical quotient, emotional quotient, spiritual quotient. The body, the mind, the spirit and the heart. You have to get your vision, your discipline, your passion, your conscience right. You need to have the right compass based on the core values, the principles that you live by. Seek first to understand before you want to be understood. Put first things first. Think win-win. Each person is precious. There is no limit to what an organization can accomplish because each individual has an unlimited potential. So it will have a cascading effect, it will have a snowball effect, it will have a placebo effect if all the individuals willingly give their best to the organization. So to have the buy-in, the appraisal has to be, the goal setting has to be starting from the individual, from the grassroots. For that, they need to have trust, they have to be empowered, they have to be given the tools and trainings, and then we need to consider them as individuals looking at their heart, body, mind and spirit. When leadership becomes a choice rather than a position, it becomes effective. When leadership becomes a choice, greatness is easily achieved. Thanks for listening to this. We were talking about Stephen Covey, Effectiveness to Greatness, the 8th habit. Thanks from Anil Kumar here.